I'm sorry, I'm going to run my session in English. For some reason, I've been living abroad for the last 10 years. And I'm not as good as you are in French, so I prefer that you make some efforts maybe to understand me rather than I do some effort to speak in a language that haven't been spoken in the last 9 years. I left Tunis like 9 years or 9 years and a half back, and I went to start in the Netherlands, spent a couple of times over there, then moved to Serbia for some reason, and then India, and then made a little break in Tunis, and then I decided to start working. I've been through this for 3 years and a half, where I've kind of crossed more than 30 countries around Europe and some North African ones. And then decided to start working like everyone. And for some reason, my first employer was the biggest IT company in the world. It's called Microsoft. And it was very good learning experience. It was very good, challenging environment. I never worked before, and then I started with such challenges. And for some reason, which I didn't know too, is that we Tunisians were so smart that we really could adapt to any environment in very, very fast rhythm, in very record time even, and did apparently a good job. And for some reason, we had some restructuring in the company, and then so many of my colleagues have been asked to leave. And then with the Microsoft experience, somehow they had to join some other multinationals like Oracle, Cisco, HP, Samsung, and so on and so forth. And they subsidized me to help them in some building their digital marketing platform. And then I end up basically making more money in doing some side work than in working for Microsoft. So and then I said, instead of working hard and making money and sending it to Bill Gates, I would prefer to run my own adventure. So I started my business and decided to quit Microsoft, had proper good vacation in Tunis, and then I started working. And some of the good numbers I remember is that when I celebrated my 1-year anniversary of my business, it was like 2 weeks after my 27th birthday, and I'm gonna be a little bit transparent. I celebrated my first $1 million revenue, and that was not planned, that was not expected, and that was the joy and one of the most memorable events happened in my professional life, counting and coming from the south of this beautiful country, from very, very modest family. And then somehow I said, okay, this is really like too good to be true. Good numbers, been to more than 70 countries in like 4 or 5 years, traveling around the planet, right and left, discovering myself, that was very important, discovering the world, talking about my country, talking about my experience, getting to know so many young entrepreneurs, so many influencers, so many people who have been dedicating their lives to some other people's lives. And for some reason, that was like really too good to be true, so I had to sit back and think and try to evaluate myself and say, okay, how did this really happen in so short and quick time? Although it wasn't planned, I do have professional experience, but not as big as to run a business and make it successful since the very beginning. So I turned back to look at the map again, and then I found myself in the, luckily, being part of the fastest growing economy. The city is called Dubai, and then being in one of the most attractive emerging markets in the world, which is the Middle East, due to the natural resources they have, due to the lack of mental resources they have also, due to the size of the market in the same time. And then I said, okay, if this is happening, I'm talking about a country which is only 7 years old. And the sister companies are like even 4 years old countries. But, so I opened the map again, and then I decided to look from where I come. And yeah, so Carthage, if you see the map, the Ottoman Empire basically were a country which witnessed the end of the greatest and longest Ottoman Empire. The Roman Empire, a country which was in the heartbeat of one of the strongest historical empires around all times. Even from a geography perspective, Phoenicia, Tunis was the hub of trade in the entire Mediterranean. And these are actually the maps through around 300 years, I guess, or even more. If a country like older than 3,000 years, way more than that even, all right, with a great history, with culture, well built, way before any other of the names of the countries, which has got lots of money today, and no one knows where we stand compared to those. I said, okay, I packed my stuff. I did not move. I didn't leave my my house and didn't leave that company. And then I came back, and then I decided to start a company in Tunis. I enjoyed a very sunny and nice city called Sousse. And a year after, actually, when I started the Tunisian business, it's basically I wanted to start outsourcing to myself. So in the very beginning, whenever I needed some IT services, I was outsourcing using a friend of mine, and then I decided to outsource to myself, basically. Although, I mean, there is gap of 3 hours, which can hurt the business in the Middle East, but still, I took the adventure and took the risk, and I started a hub, an offshore hub here in Sousse. And for some reason, I needed some services to that company, so I started another one, and then I needed another one like a couple of months back, and I started it too. We are not a big team. We are not making a lot of money here, but I'm outsourcing to a bigger portion of the business. And what happened is that it's just the glimpse of the idea. I basically created around 15 job opportunities, feeding 15 families with just a little initiative. It's not a favor, definitely not. It's a honor to do it. But the question mark is, we have or even let me put it this way, we have the smartest engineers maybe. Doesn't mean the education system is good, but the people, the intuition, the attitude was really what made the change, and it's very exceptional. So somehow also, actually, although the technical expertise of our engineers, but we have got very lazy people too, all right? And I tried somehow to use that as an opportunity, because as Bill Gates says, whenever you give a job to a lazy person, he'll find out very easy and faster way to do it than someone proactive and so on and so forth. And this is very true, actually. It's very applicable in IT. So the more you challenge someone, the more he's lazy, the faster he will go and solve the problem. So I was questioning myself, is it a question of leadership or is it a question of entrepreneurship? And really, it doesn't really matter much, for the simple reason is that as long as we want to develop our community, we want to do something. For one side, it's a question of attitude, all right? And then let's leave time to tell if it's the entrepreneurship part of the business which made a difference, or the leadership part of the management which created the success and created the impact. To be honest with you, coming all the way here and listening to the speakers, this is, I guess this is I would call it my first time in Sfax. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I came only twice before for a couple of meetings, which didn't last more than 2 hours. I haven't seen anything. But going through the city quickly earlier, and thanks very much for the pickup. If I go back to my contacts, and somehow it just happened that I met lots of people and I know lots of people, more than half of the engineers I know, or even the ones I employ, are either from Sfax or having the origins from here. Not counting the doctors, and not counting the architects, and not counting the business people, all right? And if I go even further, and I would dare to say is that I'm more than sure that more than half of the wealth of this country is here. But I knew this because I'm from Tunis. I'm Tunisian national. But someone who just landed in Sphinx, he will never think about this. And he will never see this. And this is what basically you guys were talking about. And I'll be happy to contribute to the change at any point of time if it would happen. I'll save the surprise maybe for the next TEDx. And yeah, this is pretty much it. I mean, what I wanted to share with you today is that it's not a question of age, it's not a question of education, and it's not a question of origin that we really can create a difference or make even a difference. We have more than 3,000 years of history behind us. This is our leadership, and this is what makes the whole difference, basically. We used to success. We know how to live, and we know how the others looks like, and we know even how to make ourselves looks like. And it's only a question of attitude, volonté, if you would like to call it that way. Other than that, I was very glad to see this event. It's been, I guess, very, very successful due to the talent of people from Sphinx, I guess, and definitely also from the speakers, and I guess most of you are from here or be working here and such a stuff. Thank you very much for your time. I'll save 10 minutes more for the next speaker, and see you soon.